Are we on? Yay. Okay, you can probably all hear me now, although my voice is so loud you could probably hear me anyway. So welcome back to another fabulous cook-along. We are really excited to be back here again with you today. And this is a really simple, a really quick, a really easy one that I used to make all the time, that I used to make actually not in the Cook Expert. So I've converted a recipe of my own to actually be able to involve the Cook Expert. So I just realised though that I need to get my baking dish down. So embarrassingly enough, I'm going to have to get out the step stool. So just wait one moment. And I'm sorry for the back of me. And I'm just going to grab out my baking dish. So just give me one sec. In my very organised cupboard. Okay, this is called Behind the Scenes of Vanessa's Kitchen. Okay, we're good. I'm done. Sorted. Safe. Are we ready? See, that just gave you all a little bit of extra time to get ready. So tonight we're going to be doing a tuna and veggie bake, and this is one that I love doing, and it's so easy, and it's such a good one to be able to use things that are in the fridge, simple things in the pantry. It really is a really good one for, you know, just what am I going to cook tonight? What have I got? Don't want to go shopping. Now, the background of today. I literally got home at 5:35 from the grocery store, just grabbing the last bits that I needed because I've been a crazy time out there. And so this is to prove to you that this quickly I can be on live Facebook with everything prepped that I did when I got home at 5:35 and I made it. Yay! Okay, so I'm really quite excited. And I didn't yell at anyone. My daughter was like, you won't be able to do it without stress, Mum. And I go, watch me. Anywho, we're here now. So let's get going. We are going to get started. Now, you do need to have, for me, your food processor. And I need you to have the midi and the large bowl. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to get yourself sorted with that. I'm going to grab my blades. Okay, so you'll notice in the recipe I said carrots and zucchinis, but I didn't tell you what to do with them, because that's what we're going to do now. And we're going to get that going in just a minute. So I think, what's the time? I think you've probably all had enough time to jump on and be ready. So what I'm going to actually do, so basically this is a tuna pasta bake. Now I am going to have to bake this in the oven at the end, hence why we've got the grated potato and the cheese, which I'll go through at the end. So get your ovens on ready, because this won't take that long to actually put together. We're going to use a couple of cans of tomatoes, or if you could get the 800 gram of crushed tomatoes, then just the one big tin. I've got some veggies, so I've got zucchinis, I've got carrots and broccoli. I've also got corn kernels. Now, you can add any vegetables you want to this. The things I don't add, I tend not to add capsicum because I find that it overtakes the taste a little bit. But quite often I will add mushrooms. So if you've got mushrooms that you need to use, chop those up as well. But there's, you know, you can add anything you want to this that you think is going to work for you. Tonight we're just going to do some grated zucchini, some grated carrot. I've chopped up my broccoli already just into little bits so that we can get that going as well, so that you're ready to go. Now, we do want to use the midi and the large bowl tonight, and this is why I love that we've got that third bowl and then we've got that bowl for the middle. So what I'm going to do is actually do my potatoes in that one, and then I'm going to sit them aside, because potatoes do get quite liquidy once we grate them. So before we use it at the end, we're going to squeeze out the excess liquid and we're going to sprinkle that over the top, but we'll get to that. So that's why I'm using the midi bowl. So if you only want to use one bowl, that's up to you, but it means you're going to have to put your potato into something else, and then you're going to have to go with your carrots and your zucchinis, because we need those in the pasta mix, not for the top. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm all good. So I'm going to get started, and I'm actually going to use my 2mm grating blade. Okay, so we've got our 2mm. Now, if you're ever not sure, all you need to do is I don't know, you probably can't see that. You may be able to see that, I don't know. But it says G4, so greater 4mm. The slicer will say S4 or S2, slicer 2mm or 4mm. So it's nice and easy for you to be able to work out which one it is. So we'll get going on our potatoes, because that is important to us right now. Okay, now I think they might not fit, but that's okay. This is why we love the extra large feeding tube. Now, I'm sure you all know how to use this, but just in case, I'm just going to remind you. if I try to grate that with the 2 potatoes in, my machine won't start because I haven't got this past the little max line. So I'm going to have to do it in 2, but that is not a problem because it's so quick. Now, I'll just get this on. Ready? And pop the other one in, and we're just going to give it a really quick grate. Now, when I used to make this recipe, not using my Cook Expert, I used to have to grate my potatoes by hand, and it was such a messy job because the liquid was running everywhere before I actually got, you know, through it all. What I find when I grate with this one, with the potato, it doesn't get quite as liquidy. And I think because we're not putting as much pressure on having to grate it, the super accurate blades, etc. So I'm going to now sit my potato just to the side. We'll get that going. Now I need to do the same thing with my carrots and my zucchini, but I also need to do my cheese. So if you haven't done your cheese, then this is a great time for you to be able to do that. And we'll get that on. But I'm just going to need something to put the cheese in, actually. Let me just actually grab a mat and just pour it onto there, so you don't have to look into more of my cupboards. Okay, so I'm just going to, and I'm not washing the blade because you know what? It's all going in together in the end anyway. So I'm going to pop my cheese in quickly, and I'm going to give that a quick grate. Okay, now I'm just going to pop my cheese aside because I want to use the bowl. Oh, actually, I could put it in there. There you go, clever. I'm going to use the bowl next to do my zucchini and my carrot. Now again, I'm not washing this bowl. It's all going to mix in together eventually. If there's a little bit of cheese in my mixture, it really is not a big deal. Don't you just love when you don't have to have a whole lot of things going on? Okay, so we've got that done. I'll pop that in, and I'm now going to do my zucchinis and my carrots. Now, when I do these, I actually like to do them long ways because I want longer strips of it. I don't want tiny little grated pieces. I actually want some longer strips. If you have little people in your house and you're having to hide things, then obviously you can grate it as small as you want, but I'm not really worried about that not working for me. This is just so easy. So when I did this in the past, not with the Madge, also when I was doing my carrots and zucchinis and everything, I would actually chop them into pieces. So it was quite sort of time consuming, I guess, to put together. But this way, it's just so quick. So I'm not having to cut anything, chop anything. I'm not having to go and then use a chopping mat. I can put that back, actually. I don't need to use a chopping mat. I don't need to get a knife out. I don't need to do all those things because I've got that all ready to go. So I'll just sit that there for now, and then I'm going to sit this aside because I've got everything grated that I want. So honestly, we've grated all of that and we've been going for not even 5 minutes and the prep work's done. So that's what I love, that makes it super easy, and that's why this recipe's too a really quick one to do from scratch on the night you want to use it, you want to eat it, so that you can still feed the family quickly and with really healthy meals. So we're going to pop on now our Cook Expert bowl. So I'll give you a minute to grab your bowl, get yourself ready, move that aside. Okay, beautiful. So what I've done is, sadly, I ran out of my homemade veggie stock. Like, it was almost tears when I realised, because it's my favourite thing. So I've had to use a vegetable cube, but I've dissolved it in the water. So it's 200 mils of water we're going to be adding. So I've dissolved that already because I need that to be dissolved. I don't want chunky bits in there. Or if you're using powder, obviously you can just use your teaspoon of powder. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to add in my tomatoes. Now, Sarah is there in Tassie. I'm sure that, I wonder what the weather is like in Tassie, Sarah. It's been really kind of odd here. But she's there to answer your questions. So I know that somebody made a comment about, can we put the method up before we do the actual recipe in case you get lost or behind or whatever. The only reason that we haven't done that is because then you might turn off and just go and do it without having us in your house. And that would be really sad. But no, we do put that up once we finish. So it will be up there for you. We always make sure of that. So I'm going to add my tomatoes. I'm going to add my stock. Now, we don't want to waste any of that tomato, so I do like to just give it a little bit of a rinse out with my water and my stock here, because let's not waste anything. Okay, beautiful. So that is the tomatoes, the stock, and the water. So I've got that in. just going to scrap that stock off because what a waste. I'm really, like, honestly, if you have never made your own vegetable stock, I've done it before. It is on the app. Do yourself a favour, make the veggie stock. So you can use, when you've got things in the fridge that need to be used, perfect time to do it. If you buy celery, you can use even the leaves in there to do your stock. So you're not really wasting much food at all. Okay, so now I'm going to put that on for 7 minutes with my lid. Here we go. And this is basically just warming up my my contents here. So we're going into expert. We're going to go for 7 minutes. We're going to go on speed 3 and we're going to go at 120. Go backwards, it's quicker. Okay. Let's get that going. So we're going to just basically, we're heating up. So if I was to do this the old way, pots and pans, I would need to use a saucepan for boiling my pasta. You only cook the pasta. So if you're doing it on a hot plate with the pasta, you only half cook it. In this way, you'll think, oh my gosh, she's crazy, this pasta's raw. That's exactly what we want it to do, because when we're baking it in the oven, that pasta's going to cook beautifully. If you overcook the pasta at the start, it ends up a sloppy, soft mess, and it's not very nice, and we don't want to do that. So bear with me when you kind of think she's freaking out, she hasn't cooked the pasta enough. I honestly am telling you, it's meant to be like that. Okay. So I would get out my pot, I would boil my pasta, I would get out another pot to be able to cook all of my veggies. So I would do this with the tomato, then I'd add all my veggies, then I'd add my can of tuna, and then I'd have to get that simmering till the veggies started to sort of tenderize a little bit. So it was a bit of a process, lots of pots and pans, but this just makes it really easy because I'm just using the one pot, okay? So that's something that we can do, you know, really simply through using our Magimix and using our Cook Expert. So while I've got a couple of minutes, I am going to tell you about our gift with purchase offer that has officially starts tomorrow, but we officially started it yesterday just because, you know, we didn't want anyone to miss out. So it's up, ready to go, and I'm going to show you what our bonuses are, which is exciting. Now, I will also tell you, Sunday, 12:30, I will be doing another gelato show on TVSN. The last one we did was insane and it was so much fun, and I've got 5 brand new recipes to be sharing with you. So if anyone is on here that's already bought their gelato that wants some new ideas, please jump on, because I will have 5 brand new recipes to do. I am actually doing, and I have created should I tell you? Yeah, it's okay. It's not a secret by Sunday. But I've created a fruit mince pie custard, kind of like a deconstructed. So I made my own fruit mince, then I'd made my own custard, and then I made the custard in the gelato, and then I added the fruit mince mixture through the gelato, and then serve it with some sort of sweet crust pastry sprinkled over the top. It's kind of like deconstructing the pavlova, but this is like a fruit mince pie. I haven't had anyone say yet they don't like it. My children won't try it because, hello, we all know they're the fussy ones. But I took it to the office yesterday and they were loving it. They had it for breakfast. Tested it on my father last night and he ate the whole bowl. I just was like, you don't have to eat it. And he's like, what? Hello? So it is yum, and I can't wait to share that recipe with you all as well. So that is our gelato. Okay. Food processor. So the food processor, we have a fabulous bonus. I probably should have actually got it out of my car because I picked one up today. And it is okay, I've got to say it properly apparently. I can't say it. In Aussie language, it's de Bayer. But if I'm going to bring my French out, it's de Boyer. Please give me the thumbs up, Wavina, if you're watching, and I got that right. Okay, so we are going to give you a baking set. Now, de Boyer is like a top French business company. They sell the most amazing cookware. They sell fry pans and things like that as well. But they have an amazing silicone range. So we've got a silicone muffin form in there. We've also got for you a flan form, and the flan form comes with the sheets that actually sit into it, and it's all holes around the actual mould so that it gets, you know, all that crispiness in there. Also comes with a loaf pan and comes with a silicone mat that you can roll on and bake on. And you also get the best bakery book. So that is for anyone buying a 42 or a 5200 XL. Of course, if you've already got yourself a Cook Expert, you probably don't need a food processor because you've got a food processor all in one. But for anyone out there that doesn't, because I know there are a few people that like to watch and get ideas, but they're not sort of sure. The Best Bakery book is the best bakery book, honestly. Every recipe I've tried in there is amazing. So it's actually designed for the food processor, which is just, honestly, trust me. If you purchase a 3200 XL, it is just the de Boyer cooking set, so all of those pans that I mentioned. So that is that one for our food processor. So tick, tick. The Cook Expert, which I'm sure anyone that's out there that doesn't have one yet will really want to know about this one. It is the baking set again. So you will get that baking set absolutely free. It is the dough hook. So the dough hook on its own is $175. So if you wanted to, you could actually do tonight's recipe with the dough hook if you're worried about things breaking up, but honestly I'm using the normal blade and it's absolutely fine. But fabulous for doing your risottos and obviously for doing all of your dough, pizza dough, bread dough, you know, your pastries, all those things. And it's great for doing larger quantities. So the normal blade will do your smaller quantities of bread, but the dough hook is really good for your larger quantities. And it also comes with the Cook Expert bread baking book. Okay, so it's different to the other one. So that is that one there. Okay, the next one is our blender. So I don't know whether you've all seen, but we have 3 blenders. We have a Blender Power 3, a Blender Power 4 and a Blender Power 5 XL, and they're basically all different sizes. So they go from 1.2 litres right through to 2 litres. And the middle ones are 1.8, so it gives you a really good range. And if you purchase any of our blenders, so that could be something of interest to you, you will receive the 2 blend cups with the Blender Power 3. You will receive 2 blend cups and the scales with our Blender Power 4, and with our Blender Power 5 you'll receive the blender kit, which is the 4 and 700 ml, as well as the glass mill. So that's all available to you, absolutely free. It is then through us to claim that. So nice and easy. The Juice Expert, so anyone looking for a juicer, the Juice Expert is the bomb. Pardon me. Super easy to clean and look after, and it's not like other juicers where you've got a million parts to pull apart and then try to put back together. It's amazing. It comes with our veg prep kit. So basically our juicer can be turned into food processor, so it'll do your slicing and your grating. It's quite mind-blowing that your juicer will turn into that. Woo! See, all this talking. Okay, let me just get this on and then I'll go through my last couple of offers. And in the meantime, I've lost my instructions. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. So that should get, oh, look at the steam coming off that, so that we've gotten that nice and warm. Now what I also like about this recipe, I'm just going to scrape the sides down quickly, is that there is no garlic or onion in it. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that struggle with garlic and onion. So it's another really good dish to be able to do that doesn't have those things. So now, 300 grams of penne. You could use any pasta you like. So you could use a curly pasta or an elbow or something like that. But this is the one that I choose because I like the way it cuts as well when we've got it all in there. So I'm going to put in my pasta absolutely raw. Then I'm going to add my, you could leave these bits in, but I'll just take them out. You know, the last little millimetre. Okay, then we're going to add our veggies. I'm going to put our veg in on the top there. Okay. So we've got that in beautifully. We're going to add our broccoli. Now this recipe really pushes the capacity boundary, but that's okay. We like to push boundaries, don't we? Okay, so that's in, good to go. Let me just get that, dry my hands. Okay, and then I'm going to add my corn. You're thinking the lid's never going to go on. It will. We're just going to give it a little stir. So just with your spatula, just give it a little, no, nothing aggressive, just a little bit of a stir so that it actually settles in there beautifully. Okay. Is anyone thinking, how's this actually going to work? I'm really not sure. Honestly, it's great. So I have drained my tuna. There was just a little bit of juice in there still, but that's fine. I'm going to pop that in there as well. So like I said, I'm really, really pushing the boundaries of the capacity of this bowl. But hey, it worked, so I'm good. Okay, so we've got all that in there. So we've still got aside our cheese and our potato. So please don't put the potato in. That's really important that we don't do that. I'm just going to wash my hands. You probably can't see me. Got tuna hands. Okay, so yes, we really have pushed the boundary of the bowl. Keep that potato and that cheese aside. And again, we'll just give it a little, oh my gosh. You all know that I'm a messy cook, so we'll be right. Okay, so I've just got that in sitting like that. So the next step, we're going to put our lid back on. And I'm going to pop that on speed 3 for 2 minutes. Trust me. And I'm going to leave it at 120 degrees. What did I say? 2 minutes. Now, don't stress. Your pasta's not going to break up. And this is what's great about this is because your pasta's still raw. It's still really hard. And that's why we want you to put it in absolutely raw. But if you can you come and have a little look for me? And I'll show you can see how everything's starting to mix together really beautifully. So you can see, I can see the tomatoes starting to come through. So that's what we want, okay? We want that happening. I'll just check that I have put that on 120. Yeah, speed 3. And we're going to do that for a couple of minutes. So like I said, don't stress, oh my gosh, the pasta's going to rip apart. It's raw. Don't worry about it. It's nice and hard. Once we've done this, we're going to pop it back on for another 5 minutes, and then we're going to pop it in here, put our potato, our cheese, and you're going to pop it into your oven, and in about 40 minutes you're going to be eating your dinner. Super simple, super easy, super delicious, and I think it's actually super healthy. So yes, there's pasta in there. If you are gluten-free, just do your gluten-free pasta, so it's a nice and easy one for anyone that is gluten-free. So you know, it's something that you can adapt, and like I said, you can add some mushrooms to it. You can add I don't add capsicum, as I said, because I find that the taste just overpowers it a little bit. Even though I like capsicum, I just find that it doesn't really need it. So we'll get that mixed together. It must be just about done. But you can just see it's coming together absolutely beautifully. And just that couple of minutes it needs it, because we want it to mix together. Okay, so you really need these couple of minutes before we then turn it down to 1A. And we pop it on for another 5. So we're nearly there. And then I'll take you through my other offers that we've got. 17 seconds, nice and quick. And like I said, it is a quick recipe. So, you know, it's 24 minutes past 6 right now. And we started it probably, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. We've grated our veggies. We've got everything in there. We've got 5 more minutes before we're going to pop it into the oven. So make sure you've got your ovens on and ready. So I'm going to up that now back up to 5 minutes. And I'm going to pop that down to 1A because I just want it to stir occasionally. And I'm going to leave it at 120 degrees. Okay, so we are looking good. I'm going to turn my oven on. Does anyone else have an oven full of oven trays? Or is it just me? I don't know. I think it's just this house I'm in at the moment. It's a little bit squeezy for storage. So we'll be rectifying that in the new house. Okay, so we've got a few minutes left on that. So let's go. Let me tell you about the last couple of offers. So I've got my oven on 180. I've got my potato, which I'm just about to squeeze out, just to get that liquid out. So you can start doing that now if you want to. Just give it a really good squeeze because we want that liquid out of there, or you're going to end up with a bit of a soggy mess, and we don't want that. Okay, so we also have our Mini, or the Mini Plus. So the Mini Plus is such a cute little machine. It's like a 1 to 2 people machine, but it's also a really good one just even for yourself if you just want to do things quickly, and it's really small and lightweight and we love it. And the Mini is the smallest of our sort of food processor range, and it comes with a free parmesan disc and the digital scale. So that's valued at $130 if you purchase the Mini. So that's that one there. And then we've of course got an offer on the gelato, which is a scoop and scales. But yeah, we've got another offer coming on Sunday at 12:30. You might want to watch out for that one. So they're all of our offers that we've got going on. So we've got lots of things going on out there. So many things going on out there. It's absolutely crazy. So I might actually start squeezing my potato. I might actually put it back into this bowl. Okay, so you can see, depends I think too maybe the potatoes you buy, I don't know. But you can see there is quite a bit of that liquid coming out of there, so we want to get rid of that. And that's also a good thing about grating it at the start, because you'll see in the bowl there's quite a lot of liquid formed already, so that it's helped me get that liquid out. You could pop it onto paper towel if you wanted, but honestly, it's a waste of paper towel. It's just as easy to squeeze it, and squeezing is all I ever do to get that liquid out, and it's totally enough. So don't be worried that it's sort of not going to be enough. But if you have trouble, hands, don't want to squeeze like that, then just pop it on some paper towel, get a little bit of that liquid out. Because we want sort of that crispy top to our tuna bake as well. I just love the food processor. Like, honestly, it makes life so much easier on the prep side. So all I need now is myself a personal washer-upper, and I reckon I would just cook all day if I had the option. It's just the cleaning up part. But that's why I love this one. I've got one pot to clean up, and you know how easy our plastic, food processor plastic bowls are to clean. I'm just going to wash my hands. Isn't that why we have children washing up? Yeah, right, said no one. Okay, so I'll just quickly get rid of all this, get ready to pop this together. The last step, I'm just going to grab my parmesan. Which I could have grated myself, but I didn't. Okay, I need a cloth because I'm making a mess. My goodness, I go through paper towel. It's terrible. Okay, all done. Recycling's ready on the bench. Clean up. I love Thursday nights when I get to cook, because I don't have to think about what am I going to cook for dinner tonight. And if my kids go, I don't feel like that, I go, too bad. That's what we're having. Okay. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to scrape this out. Got my oven-proof dish ready to go. So it's almost like a lasagna sort of, well, my lasagna size, because when I do lasagna, I do it big. But it's, a nice big size that we've got here. Actually, I can tell you it's 3.3 litres in size. So hopefully you've got something big enough. If not, you could also break it up and do little portion-controlled serve sizes if you wanted to. So if you've got little bowls, pardon me, that are oven safe, you could always do that as well. Okay, so this is bubbled away. Can I get you to come and have a quick look at this? And I promise it's the last time I'll make you seasick by having to come in and look. Can I get you to come in and look at this? So she's not even listening, she's on her phone. Excuse me, Charlie. Okay, so you can see now, right, this is what it's looking like. So all that tomatoes come through. Now this pasta is hard, okay? I want it to be like that. So please don't think, oh my gosh, she's losing her brains. I'm not. It's exactly how we want it to be. And then I'm going to pour it straight into my baking dish. Now, I have to say, when I first started doing this recipe, it took me quite some time to, not in the Cook Expert, but when I was doing it originally from scratch, it took me quite some time to perfect the pasta, because I kept thinking, like the first time I did it, it was awful because I cooked it fully and then it just was gross, because all that liquid in there is going to keep cooking my pasta. So it did take a while to work this out. So you do want it to be hard, crunchy, raw. Okay, and then I'm going to put all this in here. Like so. You can see that's all still full. My corn kernels are still pieces. My broccoli is still in pieces. My zucchini and carrot obviously is grated, shredded. So we're just going to pop that in like so. So nice and easy. I might also too, I had a bit of had a bit of feedback on the, what did I do? The marinara. People were saying, oh, it's a bit too runny, etc. Can I just say, honestly, by the time you pop your pasta into it and let that pasta soak up the juices, I find that it's actually not that runny. If you still think it is a bit runny for you, obviously it's personal choice, just add some corn flour. So you can certainly add corn flour to it if you wanted to. Oh, hang on, stop putting your cheese on there. We're going to put our potato first. So the potato is basically going on like this. There's so many things you could do actually where you do your potato like this, because honestly it's like fries almost on top of your pasta bake. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And it depends on the size of your potatoes. My potatoes were quite large tonight, so there's a little bit more potato than normal, but really doesn't matter. No. Okay, so that is on there like that, all of my beautiful potato. So you can see that looks delish. And again, if there was a bit of juice in there when you tipped it out, it's all good. We want that because we want our pasta to continue to cook. We're going to sprinkle our cheese on. Probably, oh my gosh, this is making me so hungry. Usually, you know, we cook things that you can eat straight away. So sorry that I'm going to make you have to wait 40 minutes, but it will be totally worth the 40 minutes. I want to know who's cooking along. I want to know who's actually put this together and they're about to put it into their oven. And I want you to come back in 40 minutes or an hour, whenever you actually get a chance to eat it, and tell us what you think, because we don't always get feedback. You know when they always say, like, the only feedback you get is negative feedback, so no feedback is good? I really like good feedback too, so you can give me some of that. That would be lovely. And we obviously want to keep creating recipes, and we want to know that you enjoy them. So if there's anything else you want, if you've got a recipe, so like I said, this is one I converted. It was a hot plate dish. If you've got a recipe that you would love us to convert for you, or you just are not, you know, you're a little unsure of what the steps and what to do, let us have a go. Like, we're more than happy. Sarah is amazing in the kitchen as well. So not as well, she's more amazing than me in the kitchen. And so she's really good at all of that as well. So we can definitely help you. And wouldn't it be nice to be on a Facebook cook-along and have a shout out because it was your recipe? I think that's pretty cool. Maybe we should do a competition. Okay, so there it is. Voila. My pasta tuna veggie bake. It is super healthy. It's got lots of good things in there. It is so easy to do. Pop it in the freezer if you've got leftovers, or take it for lunch. Everything out there is so expensive that it's kind of like, we like to have leftovers. We like to be able to take food into work, make everyone jealous with your tuna bake tomorrow. So thank you for joining us. I think that I haven't forgotten anything, but who knows? And again, it's super simple, super easy, super quick meal. Hope you love it, and we'll see you all soon.